Well, welcome back, my darling Diamonds in the Rough. I am your favorite talking stone, but I'm also a basketball fan. And at the time of this recording, I'm, I don't know what to say. For those of you who are unaware, basketball is a sport where people score points. You know, pretty common thing in most sports. That's not the surprising part. The NBA is the most popular, most advanced, most whatever league in the world. And scoring points is a very prestigious accolade, especially in a single game. And a certain player has just scored the most points in the three-point era. Since the introduction to the three-point line, a certain player has surpassed Kobe Bryant's 81 points. And that player is Idris Bam Adebayo. And for those of you who don't follow basketball, Bam Adebayo is a very good player, I'd say. I want him on my team, on the Celtics. Unfortunately, not going to happen ever. But he's a really good player. His previous career high was 41. He's been in the league a long time. He's not a scorer. He's not an offensive player like that. Or at least that's what I thought. But no, I'm wrong. He scored 83 points. 83 points. Wow. Let's see. I believe he was it 20 for 43 from the field, which is a lot of shots. I don't know what he was from three, and I think it was something like 40 for 42 from maybe not 40 for 42, but I think he had like 40 free throws. Maybe not 40 free throws. But he shot like 41 free throws, made like 38 of them. Most free throws, again, in a game ever, I think. Even going back to before the three-point line. It is. Wow. I don't know I'm at a loss for words. I'm very surprised that he wasn't pulled from the game because the Heat were up by a lot for pretty much the entire game. But no, he stayed in for the full game to break that record, and good for him. I am just flummoxed. Surprised, flabbergasted. Oh my. And that is a reason why we are a bit later. So maybe without further ado, we should get into it. Am I on the right thing? I think we're going to switch it up a little bit, start with some connections. So let us begin. Mass, Graham, Duke, Toast. Ooh, Texas Toast. French Toast? I don't know. Graham, Alexander, Graham Bell, Mass. Well, I see something immediately. Brown, UNC, Penn, and Duke are all American colleges, pretty prestigious American colleges. So I think it might be this, or this might be the Herring. I don't know, but we're going to send it anyway. Of course, it was the Herring. All right, so let's see what else it can mean. Duke is royalty. Brown, shout out to Jaylen Brown, also played basketball today, had a really great first quarter, and then had a pretty controversial ejection. I'm so mad about that. He was playing great. It was a great game, and then he just got thrown out because he was mad about getting pushed and not getting a call. And then he went to the ref to yell at the ref. The ref gave him a technical, which is just, I guess, a behavior sort of foul. If you get two technicals, you're thrown out of the game. And he was still complaining. But normally, in that situation, you just give one technical, let the player calm down and continue. A second ref gave him a second technical for that and threw him out of the game. Which is just mind-boggling. I'm very upset by that. Because it was such a good game, too. It still was a good game. I think it's still ongoing now, though the Spurs sort of pulled away with the Celtics just missing a lot of good looks. And bad looks, but mainly good looks. But that's how basketball is. So it could be Jaylen Brown, or it could be something. And Penn. Maybe Penn Station? Shout out to New York. Is Penn Station spelled like that? Or maybe Penn State or UPenn? I don't know. But it could be that. Yeah, Unk, Pop, Cuz, and what's another slang for family member? Duke, Sock, Wash, Brown, Pen, Roast, Box. Miss, maybe? That might be a stretch, but we'll try it. One away? Oh my. I don't think it's Miss, then. Sear, Slug. Pen, Roast, Brown, Mass, Graham, Duke? No. Wash, Sock, Toast? No, but I see something else. To slug means to hit someone. To sock means to hit someone. To box means to hit someone. Oh, the last thing. That's a bit strong. What else means to hit someone? Wash, no. Unk, brown, pen, roast. To pop. Oh, yes. To strike someone. Ooh, I'm peeved. We might not get anything. I don't know which one of these is wrong, because all these mean to hit. Maybe not box? Okay, let's try third thing. To roast, to sear, to toast. This all means to brown also. Yeah, this means to heat, I suppose. There we go. Cook with dry heat. Oh my. Yeah, I suppose that is dry heat. To brown, to roast, to sear, and to toast. Interesting. Mass. Instagram? No. Or maybe social media without part of it? No, I can't think of that. Oh my. So pop to box to slug and to, well, what did I say? Not brown roast, sear, toast, to sock. But one of these is wrong and has to replace something else. Mass, unk, wash, pen, gram, duke. To duke it out. To maybe not to pop, but to duke. This means to fight, to engage in fisticuffs. There we go, punch. That's a bit more of a uncouth way of saying it, but I suppose it works. Pen, like to pen someone a letter, to gram some. Unk, pop, cuz, miss. It wasn't this. It was one of these are swapped out. Unk, pop, and cuz are all family members. The pen, grandma, Graham. Oh my, that might be it. Family members. Familial nicknames: Mass, Miss, Wash, and Pen. Massachusetts. Oh, states abbreviated: Pennsylvania, Washington, Mississippi, Massachusetts. Interesting. Huh. From the jaws of defeat, we brought out a victory. We had one last chance, and we just kind of locked in. That was fun. That was fun. Alright, now let's go back to the Wordle. It's weird not starting with the Wordle. And oh my, I forgot. Let me put up the star. I believe there's a star doodle or something like that. I don't know exactly what it's called. Oh, no, it's the star doodle. But we're going to start with the Wordle. But star doodle we're going to do next. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Star doodle. Interesting. But now let's begin the Wordle. And okay, now that we loaded. Alright, now that we loaded, our favorite starting word is jazzy. We got an A somewhere. Maybe hearth or hearts. We'll try hearts. We have an maybe not TH, but maybe SH UA. Shoke? No. Maybe it's... I wonder where A can go. And then H. Maybe... Chia... Choa... Chua... Huh. Yeah, I'm very confused where A can go here. Let's just try, chime. Maybe not chime. We'll just try something to get some letters in. Chimp. Why not? Alright, so some good news. We have H in the second spot. Ahead, not EID, but that's not a terrible guess. It's not a good guess. I was going to say ahoy. Ahoys? No. Aho. Nope, it's probably not that. Maybe let's try SH. Something something A. Or maybe SH. I don't know. I'm very perplexed. Let's just get some letters on the board. Maybe, what can we do with what we have? It definitely can't be QU, so we're not going to use Q. Oh! WH could be something. Let's try will. No, we already, A can't go there, and then E can't go in the word at all. Whole. Let's just do whole then. Is it something like this? Oh, is it ghoul? Yeah, this isn't a word. So it can't be this, because if it was GHO, the L would have to be in the last spot, and we'd need an A. So it's not that. Is it LHO? Well, that's not... Oh my... I'm very confused. Let's just get some more letters on the board, though. So maybe we can try starting with an A, L, and... Llama, why not? Very strange word, but at least we know something. It starts with an A, H-O something L. A whool? Not a word. I'm missing something very obvious, aren't I? SL? AHO FL DL? A hodl? HO? OL? I'm not getting this. What? Okay, what? It has to start with aho and then end with L. So let's try every letter that we can think of. QL, UL, OL, AL, SL, DL. What is it? FL, GL, HL, KL. It can't be LL, because otherwise it would be green. XL? VL? NL? Am I daft? No, I am daft. I am daft. We're not missing the fourth letter, we're missing the first letter. H-O-A-L. Shoal? I'm sorry. There we go. Once I realized we were missing the first letter, that's such an uncommon word. I'm surprised it's on the word list. That is quite bizarre. I'm rather flummoxed by that. Here, do we have... How can I show my... There we go. I'm quite flummoxed by this. Maybe even a tad upset. Ooh. But enough about that. Let's go back over to the star doodle. That's a mouthful. Loading crop of the day. Ooh. Do we know how to play? Updates, help, view hints, mute. Well, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. What was that? Did I get myself a virus? Hopefully not. What's going on? It's refreshing my. You know what? We're gonna try apple until it works. Oh, yeah, upsetting me is just there. Let's just try maybe cac. Oh, no, you said we are gonna try apple. But it keeps refreshing the page. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe ancient fruit instead? Why does it keep refreshing the page? I'm very confused at what's going on. Oh, wait. Maybe I'm doing it wrong? Maybe I have to use all the hints, and then let's try cactus. No, let's try cauliflower. Why not? To see if we actually get something on the board. If not, no. Okay, it's not working. That makes me sad. I'll try it again later, but it's not working. Wow. So let's try the wordsmith. The wordsmith. Let's hop back over. All right. Now on this game, again, we have a word up top, and there are going to be sets of clues in which we change this word to other words. We have to use each set of clues in order to change a word to another word all the way to the chain until we use all clues. However, the trick is we don't know the order of these clues. So it's up to us to solve that. Well, without further ado, we shall begin. Number 91, Frozen by Glace. Let's take a look at the first clue and see if we can do it or rule it out. Remove the first two letters, so we get Ozen. Prepend a pot of ashes. An urn? So urn Ozen? Prepend a letter that sounds like a small insect. So burn Ozen is not a thing. Near opposite. Oh, okay, so this is going to end up being burned. We know that. We'll keep that in mind, but let's move on. Keep part of the word. Result in object. Froze, rose, froze, O's. Nope, definitely not. Append emergency room abbreviation. ER. Frozener. No, this is probably going to be brother. Maybe sister. Nah, I don't know. We'll continue. Remove first two letters. Prepend one letter. So Ozen, and then we add something else to parent. Nope. Remove first and last letters. Rose. Prepend one letter, and the result is soup. Froze. Grows? I don't know. That's not it. Change the first two letters to a sheep sound. Ba Ozen. Sitting a tub of water. Bathing? No, that's not it. Remove peace. Frozen? No. Append your in the olden days, so ye. Result bubbling. No. Keep part of the word. Butterfly's cousin would be moth. And that's all the clues, so we definitely did something wrong. We're going to use a hint. Remove peace. Fro, rose, O's. Oh my, what's peace? Append your bubbling. So append. So it's frozen ye. Your. Ye old. I believe it's ye. Zen. Oh, remove Zen. Froy? So remove Zen. We get with Fro and not ye. Okay, so it's not ye. I should have seen Zen. That's on me. But it's not ye. So it should be bubbling. The. Your. Oh my. Twas. Twore. Your in olden days. Ye old. So we have to remove Zen, and it's not ye. I'm just gonna use it. I don't know. I'm stumped. Froth. Oh, thy. Oh, that makes sense. That was a mistake on my part. Keep part of the word. Butterfly's cousin would be moth, but we don't have that yet. Remove the first two letters. So, Athi, repent pot of ashes, and then so we have Burnothy? No. Key part of the word results as an object. Froth, Roth, no. Append at the end. Emergency room, abbreviation, sibling, frothier. It's something going to be brother. We removed the Y and the F at the beginning. Remove the first two letters, prepend one letter, parent. Nope. Remove the first and last letters, prepend one letter, soup, broth. Okay, that was long, but we got it. This is going to be brother, because we said it before. Prepend the ER. Alright. Remove first two letters, pot of ashes, burn other. No. Key part of the word, object. No. Oh, it's going to be mother. Because, again, we removed the first two letters, so other, and then add an M, mother. There we go. We're flying through it now. Let's see. Key part of the word. No, moth is a butterfly's cousin, which is the last clue. We had all this in mind, but now we're flying through it. Remove first letters, pots and ashes. Burnth, no. Key part of the word, an object, no. Change the first letters to achieve sounds. Bath. Append suffix for verbs happening right now. Sitting. So ing, bathing. And then, again, we remove the first two letters. So instead of thing, we add, no, burn thing. No, key part of the word object is a thing. And now we finally have this burning. There we go. That was a bit of flying through. I'm sorry, I got a little upset at the fact that we got something like the first word, because we got a lot of the other clues instantly, but it just wasn't the time for them, so we kind of flew through that. And 21% of players, we want to get that a little faster. And by a little faster, I mean a lot faster. Unfortunately, I'm not that good at the game yet. I'm having fun, even if I'm upset, but I'm not that good at the game yet. Alright, next, I think we should move on to the Minute Cryptic, because it's there. So let's go over. Oh my. Consequence of misusing debit card. Alright, so I see. Okay, hear me out. Consequence, I think is the definition. Misusing is an indicator for debit card, and debit card is 9 letters. And fun fact, we have 9 letters. So basically, the way I'm interpreting this is we're supposed to anagram debit card to get something that means consequence. That's what I understand. Unless consequence also has 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No. Okay, so misusing debit card. So I think we just jumble up debit card. Or maybe it's a double definition where consequence of using debit card is the definition itself. But I believe misusing and debit card. We're going to just anagram debit card. And it's an easier one today, so I think that's pretty straightforward. Not straightforward. I'm pretty confident in that. Because if it's something that I see, and it's a par of 1, that means I think we can do it. But the question is, how do we jumble this? It's not debit card. It's not misusing it like doing it backwards. Katibed? Consequence. What's a consequence? An action. Not freezing an account. I'm at a loss. Is it... A 3-letter word is interesting from debit card. Because we have a T, but we don't have an H in it. So it can't be the. And it can't be like identity fraud. Card. We have 2 Ds. Consequence of misusing debit card. I'm gonna take a letter actually. I'm gonna take a second letter. I'm thinking bad credit. Bad credits. Bad credit. I'm pretty confident in this. So my second thought was right. This whole thing is a definition. However, we're going to misuse the letters of debit card. That makes more sense. Bad credit. A little myth that I had to use 2 letters, but we got it, I think. Let me just make sure that this anagrams. We have B-A-D, C-R-E-D-I-T. Yeah, let's check it. You got it, 1 over par. Yeah, we figured out the clue. Well, granted, actually, we didn't. We figured we were 50-50 on the clue, whether it was just a definition of consequence or definition of consonants misusing debit card. So, 50-50 on that. We are getting better at this stuff because this was a complete instant. Like, we understood what misusing was in this context, which is an anagram indicator. We saw debit card as what was being anagrammed, and we used the numbers 3 and 6 to confirm this because there's 9 letters, and funny enough, debit card is 9 letters long itself. So I think we're getting all the little hints down, and I like that. Unfortunately, a little bit longer because I just couldn't think of what bad credit. I couldn't think of bad credit being an answer, even though I understood the clue. Anagramming is hard. I can't just look in the word. I have to use my brain. Oh my. But that was fun. That was fun, and I think that was all the puzzles I had. We kind of blew through that. It hasn't even been 30 minutes. Oh my. So, you know what? Let's go Pokidoku up, and then it's been a while. We can do some chess puzzles as well, but Pokidoku first. I love my Pokemon. And I am getting a little hot. It's been burning out, actually. In the morning, it's pretty cold, but then I get out of work, I go in my car, and it's a sauna. I'm worried that my phone is going to overheat if I have it out. It's, I don't know how to say it. It's a very hot day. It's very juxtaposed to last week. Last week, it was still freezing. I was wearing my winter jacket often. Yesterday, I wore my winter jacket to work. And then, when I left work, I just didn't wear it. It was too hot. It was too hot. And today, I didn't even bother bringing it. I'm so glad it's getting warmer, but oh my. It's getting hot, which is not that good when my car doesn't have AC. But, well, have good AC. But it's also not good for the cold because my car doesn't have good heating. So it's a lose-lose situation for me. But, I think I like the heat for now. For now, at the very least. I think I'm going to enjoy the heat a bit longer. I'll complain about it for real in like a week or so. But right now, I'm going to enjoy it as much as I can because it's very different. And I've been growing very miserable because of the cold. But anyway, enough dawdling. Let's go over to the Pokidoku. And let's begin. Grass, Electric, and Psychic. Ooh, good one. No evolution line. Kalos and Dual type. No evolution line. First, Grass. Ooh, should I say this for Psychic or Dual type? Celebi. A lot of grass types evolve. Celebi should not evolve. Perfect. Dual type. Let's just do. I was gonna do Rose Raid, but instead, why don't we do Torterra? A good old grass and ground type. Torterra doesn't get too much love. I love Torterra, but I love the Gen 4 starters a lot. I love Torterra. I love Infernape, which I heard is a bit controversial. I thought everyone loved Infernape, but apparently he's not that well loved because I think maybe he falls in the firefighting type hatred because there's a lot of firefighting types for starters. But I love him nonetheless. All right, Grass and Kalos. Pumpkaboo medium. No, Pumpkaboo big. Pumpkaboo. Yeah, let's do large. This large or super? Let's go large. I know there's 4 different Pumpkaboos or whatever because I remember when I was doing I didn't complete it, but I was attempting I'm not sure if it was a Nuzlocke. It might have been a Nuzlocke. But a playthrough of Pokemon X and Y with only grass types. It was a very interesting thing. Very interesting to kind of just brute force it like that. And I was looking for a Trevenant because I think Trevenant's really cool. But I found a Pumpkaboo first And considering they're basically the same Pokemon, Kalos Originals, Ghost Grass type, I kind of just rolled with it. But Pumpkaboo, I think I had, I forget what's the best one. I forget if it's small or large for competitive play, but I believe it's small because it's faster. I think I had, like, large, actually. Not the biggest one, but just normal large. It was very, I don't remember Pumpkaboo being, actually, it was decently useful, I think. I remember using it. I don't think it was good, but I remember using it. Anyway, let's go to Electric, no evolution line. Well, Zapdos is the first that comes to mind. Regular old Zapdos. It kind of feels like cheating using legendaries and mythicals, which, again, I hate mythicals because I can never tell if something's mythical or legendary or both, but not, I don't know. I don't like the distinction. Mythicals should just be legendaries. I don't know. But anyways, let's continue. Electric, Zapdos, Kalos, and Electric type. Dedenne, of course. I know there's the other one. Helios. Fun fact. I played X and Y a few times. I don't think I've ever caught a Dedenne. Or at the very least, I don't think I've ever used a Dedenne in battle. But I have used Helios. It's very good. I think it has dry skin. The ability Dry Skin, which means water-type moves actually heal it. Which is very interesting. But yeah, Helios. There we go. Electric and Dual type. Alolan Raichu. That's the first one that comes to mind, so let's do it. I believe it's Psychic and Electric. Actually, you know what? Let's go to Dedenne. Which I believe is Fairy and Electric. Because I think I got it wrong in being just a monotype once before. Yep, Dedenne, Fairy, Electric. 2%. Good pull. Could have used it for Kalos. Anyways, let's continue. Psychic, no evolution line. Why? Do I go Lugia? You know what? If I have a Lugia figurine on my desk from the pre-order Pokemon Soul Silver, I can put Lugia in for the Psychic, no evolution line. I can put Lugia in. There we go. Psychic and Kalos. First one that comes to mind is not Braixen, but oh shoot, I don't know. Braixen's evolution. Fennekin's final form. The Stick Lady, which I actually think is a cool design. I actually do think it's a pretty cool design. I like the Fire Witch Lady, but I just, for the love of me, cannot remember Braixen's final form, Fennekin's final form. So we're gonna skip over that and try something else. Another Psychic type from Kalos. I'm not sure if Megas count, because we could do obviously something like Mega Gardevoir, but I don't think that would count. There was a Psychic Gym Leader in X and Y. I remember, I think it was like the 7th Gym Leader. Unfortunately, I don't remember any of her Pokemon. I know there was a Psychic Gym Leader and a Fairy Gym Leader. I don't know why I remember X and Y so well. I didn't play it too much. The game I played the most was definitely Black and White, specifically Black and White 2. I have my old cartridge for Black and White 2. It has over 200 hours on it from this one save file. I'm just maxing it out. Or was. I haven't played on it in probably years, though. Anyways, that's besides the point. Point is, Kalos Psychic type. I'm trying to remember, but... Oh, Malmar. Malmar is Psychic Dark, I think. I could be wrong, but Malmar. I hope so. I don't know, actually. I'm crossing my fingers. There we go! 5.7%. There must have been more Psychics that I'm just not remembering. Psychic and Dual type. Medicham. Medicham. I do love... I'm not sure if Medicham's from Gen 4 Pokemon, from like, Sinnoh, but I remember it being a pretty significant part, and I love Medicham. I think it's really cool. But yeah, this is one of the first times where we kind of locked in and just swarmed it. Oh, that being said, speaking of Medicham, that lady for the trading, I believe it's the trade where you can trade a Medicham for an NPC's harder. I'm still peeved about that. Because that Haunter has an Everstone, which means when it's traded to you, it won't evolve. That is evil. As someone who didn't have someone to trade with, I never got a Gengar. I never did. I don't like the trade evolutions. I didn't have someone to trade with until X and Y. I never had the trade evolutions. It hurt me. It really did. Made me very upset. Especially considering Scizor is one of my... Here's the thing. Scizor is one of my favorite Pokemon. You need to trade it with a Metal Coat. That upsets me. Scizor is not even better than Scyther in terms of competitive play for some reason. Because it has the same base stat total or whatever. It's an evolution, but it's more like an alternate form. Which really annoys me why you have to evolve for it. Because Scizor looks so cool. I'm sorry, I'm ranting. I love Scizor. I wish I could have got it. Machamp, also something that was really cool. But again, I never had someone to trade with, so even though I had a Machoke, can never trade it for a Machamp. Golem. I don't really like the Geodude. Geodude's kind of there, but Golem's a cool Pokemon that I can never get. It's different enough from Graveler. But no, you can never get it. You just can't get it, or I just can't get it. And I know that specifically because I was looking for my playthrough of... I'm doing a pseudo Nuzlocke of Pokemon Soul Silver. I'm having so actually it's Heart Gold, not Soul Silver. Not that it makes much of a difference. I'm having a blast with it, but yeah. My spoilers, I caught a Geodude, evolved it to Graveler, did not evolve it into a Golem. I was considering trying to use PK Hexford, whatever it's called, but could not do it. Could not figure it out, and just didn't bother with it. But yeah, the trading evolution Pokemon, it makes me upset. Because I get why they exist, but man, it does make me upset. But let's see. Buggy's picks. Marcactus for grass and... What was it? No evolution line. Plusle. Sigilyph. Oh, Sigilyph. Oh my. Chespin for Grass Kalos. Dedenne. Esper. Hatterene. Forgot about Hatterene. Hatterene Psychic? Huh. Another Psychic Fairy type. Joltik. Forgot about Joltik. Huh. Where do we put? Oh, we put Dedenne. That's also pretty small. Wait. Oh. For some reason I was thinking Kalos. I was like, wait, no, Dedenne is, black and white is Unova. But no, it's not the Kalos. It was just electric. Most common? Yeah, Zapdos. And Alolan Raichu is pretty common. Wow, there's so much variety. Gardevoir? Oh my, a lot of... Really, Esper? I forgot about Esper, actually. I think it has different male and female forms, which I thought was pretty cool. I love it when there's little design changes. And least common. What the... I have never heard of this Pokemon, and I probably will never hear of it again. Dracozolt, not too big a fan of the design. Helioptile, I forgot its name. Gorgeist, really? Pumpkaboo was more popular than Gorgeist? Interesting. Diplin, Thundurus, Malamar Mega was... Really? I usually thought the Mega Evolutions are more popular considering they're perceived as common, but whatever. Interesting. Interesting. Right. Now we have a bit of a doozy on our hands. We have some Puzzle Rush from chess.com. It's been a while. We were definitely a bit rusty at chess. I think at least. But let's hop in. Try to figure it out. White to move. This is back rank checkmate. We take the rook on d8. And the king can't go anywhere on here because of this rook. And can't go here because of this bishop. So the rook has to defend, which we just take. So it's mate in 2. There we go. Same thing, just back rank checkmate. Nothing a bit extra. Knight takes away these 2 squares, so it's back rank checkmate. Back rank checkmate. Pawns block the king in. Back rank checkmate. Can we get something new? Nope, back rank checkmate again. The queen blocks, but I guess we don't do that. Oh, something new. The queen and the bishop point at that little horsey, and funnily enough, checkmate. Alright, I'm thinking check, force you in the corner to enable back rank checkmate because you're behind a box in, sack the queen, rook takes, and we take back. And that, my friends, is mate in 3. Alright, right now I'm looking at checks, captures, and attacks, and I see this check, and funnily enough, it's checkmate. Horse takes away these two, bishop takes away these, king can't move anywhere else. I said horse instead of knight, weird. Speaking of horse, checkmate, because this just blocks the king's only escape square. There we go. I would love to check here. Unfortunately, I don't think that's a good move, especially when I can just checkmate in one like this. Because that will take away these squares, this square is taken away by the rook over here, and this square's the other bishop. So, checkmate in 1. Black to move, checks, captures, attacks. This check doesn't work because you take. This check doesn't work because you take. This check doesn't work because you take. Oh, so what am I missing? Oh, probably something easier like taking the free knight. You have to block with your bishop, which I just take in checkmate. Mate in 2. I was overthinking. Same thing as we did earlier. We force you into the corner. We sack our queen. We deliver back rank checkmate. Ooh, white to move. This one's a bit interesting because you're threatening your queen, which is kind of game over. So we have to act, and we have to act fast. This is just kind of bad because then you'll pin and we'll be losing. So we have to find something else. Something along the lines of this check, which forces you either down here, queen takes away these squares, so it forces you on one of the purple squares. But regardless, once we check you here, we can take the rook for free. Though you'll probably, oh, you didn't block. I was expecting you to block with the rook, but no. Alright, here we go. Checks, captures, and attacks are what I like to look at, what I like to see. So immediately I see this check, but I don't think that's I bit my tongue. I don't think that's a very good one. And I see this check, force you up, and then this is checkmate. So I like that. Checkmate in 2 is pretty good. Defended by the knight, of course. Black to move. White's pretty restricted. I like this check to force you down, and then this should be checkmate if I recall. And I do recall, because it is checkmate. Oh. I missed the blocking of the bishop. There we go. Alright, checks, captures, and attacks. That's what we like to see. Huh. My first thought is just sack the knight for fun. You take, we push for check, you're forced down here. We queen, you take, we queen, it's check, you're forced down here. I check you, force you back up, and then deliver checkmates. Yeah, you know what? I like that. That is checkmate. Oh wow, it's having us play the whole sequence. Oh, I didn't even realize the pawn was there, blocking your escape. I thought we'd have to roundabout you or something. Alright, this move. I like this check. Forces you down. And then we take the free queen. Obviously, if you take with your queen, we take back with our queen, and it's checkmate. So, I like it. That's just looking very juicy. It's defended by the knight, force the king over. Then we can probably check you here, force you over again, and deliver checkmate. Yep, that's pretty decent. And by decent, I mean good. Lovely. Alright, checks, captures, and attacks. This is a pretty interesting thing. Right now, the king is restricted from all here. So if we bring the knight... Sorry, not there. So if we bring the knight here, then it's restricted from here, so it has to go up. We can do a discover check like this, and win the queen. And is there something better? Not that I can see. So let's just... Ooh, do we take the free queen? We take the free queen. And then take the rook. So I guess the queen wasn't really free, huh? I would love to just push. Because king's kind of trapped. So if we unleash this bishop, it takes away these two squares. And this is the only way we can defend it. We just take. Oh. I didn't even realize you could take. But luckily our queen's there. I messed up, but not in a bad way. This wins a queen, which I like. That's the only thing I see, so let's do it. Defended by the pawn, so you can't take with your king. King has to... Oh no, it's just checkmate. It doesn't win a queen, it's just checkmate. White to move. If we check here... Huh. Okay, this is interesting. A bit more difficult. So that makes me excited. Let's use our thinking caps. What can we do? Could we technically go here? Yeah, but then you can take and it's not that good. First check. Let's start with the checks. Checks, captures, and attacks. This is the only check that we have that makes sense. Actually, we'll look a bit into this check as well, but because while it doesn't really make sense, a rook is worth more than a knight, maybe there's some tactics. Anyways, this check forces you up, and this is checkmate. Oh, that was easier done than said. The knight protects the pawn. I forgot to mention that. Anyways, black to move, checks, captures, attacks. This is the first thing I see, because right now, king's in a box. Can't go there. So if we, or there as well, because of this bishop. So if we take, king has to go here. Oh no, it's just checkmate. Just checkmate in one. I like this check. Why do I like it? If you go up, this is just checkmate in one. So you can't do that. So you have to go either here or here, somewhere to the back rank. And regardless, this queen here can come in and slowly weasel its way up. So, yeah. I like it. We check here. Do we want the free rook? I don't think so. I think we can deliver checkmate. So, let's go here as well. Yeah, we'll force you around like that. Alright, white to move. First instinct is just bring queen to the corner. King goes up. Maybe check like this. Can the king go here? That's pretty devious. We can do this. You know what? Gut just says go for it. What's the best way? Wait, where was this knight? We could have won the rook for free. So we're not going to repeat. Instead, let's go here. Force you probably... If you go here, that's interesting. Let's take the pawn. Oh, that's it? I feel like there should have been more. Huh. Alright, checks, captures, and attacks. First attack I see is this. But, unfortunately, we only have 2 attackers to your 2 defenders. So, you would win that exchange. Is there any way I could... Oh, yeah. We could try this. And then you could check. I'd go to the corner. Or take. I don't even know. You go here. I'd take. And then you'd... Oh yeah, no, that works. We fork the queen and the bishop. And then we take with the queen. And then do we take with the knight or with the bishop? That's a question. Personally, I'd rather take with the knight, re-centralize it, but I don't see any big attacks. Yeah, I'd rather take with the knight, keep this pawn isolated. There we go. I'm not sure if the bishop was a blunder, but yeah, I'm not sure. White to move. I'd say we just go... Okay. Where do we go? I think we want to block with the queen, so my instinct is just back here. Again, block with the queen, and now pin. So we have to exchange. Black to move. I'm looking for checks, captures, attacks. I see none of it. That's a free pawn. And then we're threatening some shenanigans. Take the free pawn. You want an exchange? That does not benefit me in any way. I'd rather just check you there. And what shenanigans would incur? You'd be forced to go there. And then I could take... Let's just infiltrate. That's what I was afraid of. Because now we have to do something. I think gobbling pawns makes sense. Never mind, it does not. Black to move. This is the best move. Why? If you go forward, we do side rank checkmate. And if you go back, it's back rank checkmate. There we go. Alright, checks, captures, and attacks. That's what we like to see. Alright, the only two checks I see are with the queen and with the bishop, which are all just blatant sacrifices. Oh, never mind. I see this check. Pawn can't take because it's pinned by the bishop, and it's just checkmate. Checkmate in one. Alright, let's see. White to move. Checks, captures, and attacks on the board. Let us go. First check I see. Defended by the... Oh my goodness gracious. The knight forces you, probably not on this diagonal because our good old bishop friend is active now. There's not a good way to stop that. So I go here, you probably go up here, but then I can get my queen involved or something. I don't know. Actually, no, I wouldn't do that. I'd go here. Oh yeah, no, it's the best move. Yep, and like I said before, bishop on the diagonal. Take the free pawn. And just win. Interesting. I like this to force you over here. Back over here. You take. I take with check. And then you run off to the side. And basically I want a queen for a rook. There we go. Lovely. Black to move. Checks, captures, and attacks are appreciated. My first instinct is just this. The queen takes. We check. You kind of have to take. But if that's the case, I check here. You probably run down here. I check here and I win the knight. The queen move's pretty obvious, I think. But then you can also hold up right there. In which case, I'd probably come down or something. You know what? We just go. Ooh, no, I can't just push. It is an ideal fork, but... Oh, yeah, I know I messed this up. Just a wee bit, but... Wrong. Okay, that's on me. I messed up. This is an interesting move. Forces you to the corner. But it's not a good move. Actually, yeah, let's put... No, I was going to say put pressure on the pinned piece, but the queen's defended. So, the only thing left is probably this check to force you over. No, I'm very confused. But we are at 32. I want to get one more. What about this check? You run to there. Then I do this, threatening a fork. You know, just check. Nope, never mind. We tried. It's been a while, so I'm not too peeved by it. But, you know, let's do one more puzzle. from chess.com. We'll do the daily puzzle. And then we'll call it a stream. I think that sounds fun. I think it does. I never did a sound check. Hopefully everything's okay. Let me lean back into the microphone. I've been, there we go. That's probably a bit louder. In a good way. Did we load? We did. All clear. Black to move. How do we begin this? While I would really just love to completely sacrifice the queen for nothing, I don't think that's the intended move. So, we could take the bishop, which opens up this file for the queen. Not that we're moving the queen there or anything, but... Very... Oh, no. We are right. We're on the money. There, you take... We send this rook down, which is defended by the queen, and you can't run away because guess what? Checkmate threat. So basically, we just win a queen for a rook. Oh, or checkmate you if our opponent blunders, which I guess is a good thing. That was pretty fun. That was pretty simple. But that is going to do it for the puzzles. That was pretty fun. I think I wrote some... Oh, yes. I didn't write much down in my notes, but I did write one thing down. Well, actually, I have two things I want to say. First of all, my favorite comfort streamer, Nimmy Nightmare, is having a lovely collab with the lovely Momo, who, if you don't know, her favorite comfort streamer is Northern Lion, and the lovely Momo is Northern Lion's wife. So we get that 1 degree of separation closer to the eventual... I'm happy for her, is what I'm trying to say. I'm happy for her. It sounds like it's going to be a blast. Can't wait for Friday. But that wasn't what I had written down. What I had written down is the other day I heard I watched a Veritasium video about box theory, I suppose. I won't... They essentially tackled the psychology, the mathematics, the whatnot of a particular problem involving a box. Let's see. I hope I can recite it from memory properly, because the first time I heard it, I didn't understand. But essentially, you're in a room, and there are 2 boxes and a robot. And this robot is something... Before you enter the room, this robot predicted what you would pick before hearing the options. Actually, no, let's hear the options. I'm sorry, I'm rambling all over the place. There are 2 boxes. One box has $1,000 in it. The other box is a mystery box. The mystery box either has $1 million or $0, depending on what this robot predicted. If the robot predicted that you would... Given this situation, you would go for just the... I'm sorry, I'm stammering all over the place. Let's bring it from the top. You go in this room where there's this robot and these 2 boxes. One box is labeled $1,000. The other box is labeled $1 million. Sorry, not $1 million. The other box is labeled a mystery box. Inside this mystery box is either $1 million or $0. And it depends on what this robot predicts. This robot, which is predicted correctly basically every time beforehand, for everyone else who has participated in this, determines it. And if the robot... Actually, let me not... If the robot predicts that if you were to pick... one box, the mystery box, just the mystery box, you would get $1 million in that box, in the mystery box. If the robot predicted you would take both boxes, the $1,000 and the $1 million, and the mystery box, there would be nothing in that mystery box. Does that make sense? So basically, the robot's trying to predict whether you're going to go for both boxes or just the mystery box. The robot predicts that. And if they predict that you will go for the one, and this robot has been correct 1,000 times before. It's based on what you predict. It predicts you will do. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, I'm stammering a bit. I should have revised it. But basically, if the robot predicts that you will choose just the mystery box, it'll put $1,000 in the mystery box. Sorry, $1 million in the mystery box. If the robot predicts you will choose both boxes, it will put $0 in the mystery box. And the robot makes the prediction before you enter the room. But it has been right basically every time it has been before. Essentially, it is perfectly correct at predicting your behavior. So what would you do in that scenario? Would you go for the $1 million so mystery box or both boxes? I explained that very poorly. I apologize, but I wanted to talk about it because, well, first of all, let me just say I like Veritasium. I like their content. I've learned a lot from that channel. But I was annoyed. I'm going to be completely honest. I was annoyed. Not by the quality of the video. The video was very educational, though I'm going to be completely honest. I think it diverged a little bit too far from the initial topic of that problem. They talked about all different approaches to problem that I don't think necessarily were one-to-one applications of the problem. They mentioned the prisoner's dilemma, which doesn't apply to this because it's not a competition. They mentioned the prisoner's dilemma, but played over millions of times, which is a good tangent to have, but I just don't think applies. They mentioned, Punnett squares and whatnot, probability, and at the end of the day, I don't think any of that really related to the problem. They were trying to make a rational understanding of this problem when I just think they were overthinking it. But that's not what annoyed me. What annoyed me is that problem is in the vein of a classic engagement bait sort of problem. Because you'll always have people divided, and when people are divided, it brings engagement. It brings engagement. And granted, it's a definitely more well-structured problem than what I'm going to reference, but it's like one of those like pictures that you'll see on like Instagram just to get your attention or whatnot, where it's like, which box fills up first, where you have like a valve of water and it pours through the system, and then reasonably it should be box 6 picks first, but oh no, box 6 is closed, so it actually would be box 5 or something like that. It's one of those very, it feels like, it's not one of those very dumb problems, but it feels in that vein of a very dumb engagement problem. It's not. It has its strengths and flaws and whatnot, and it's something actually worth thinking about, because it says something about the psychology of people, but I just did not like the problem because it just feels like an engagement bait problem, even if it is not. It just feels like that. It irks me. I encourage you to... Do I encourage you to watch the video? You know what? Yeah, I encourage you to watch the video. It is objectively an incredibly well-made video. Veritasium's videos are always incredibly well-made. You will learn something. I don't think it was his best video. Or their best video. I'm sorry, Veritasium's more of a team now rather than just... What's his name? Derek? I forget. It's more of a team now. I forgot. But yes, I don't think it's one of their best videos, but it's definitely good. Their production quality is pretty high. And they're pretty educational. But I do think they overthought it quite a bit. It was interesting, considering they all had different approaches and problems to it, but I thought they just completely overthought it. As for me, my answer is, I suppose I should say that. If I bring up the engagement bait, might as well say what I fell into. My answer, which I decided pretty much a minute after reading it correctly, was always just pick the mystery box. Just the mystery box. Never pick both boxes. Because picking both boxes means you will get $1,000. Picking the mystery box means you will get $1 million. That's essentially what the problem broke down to me for. If I pick the mystery box, I will get $1 million. if I pick both boxes, I will get $1,000. That's what the problem broke down to me, because the robot, it's going to be correct. It's going to be correct. No matter what you pick, it's going to predict that. It's going to predict that correctly. It's going to predict that. Obviously, your actions in the present don't dictate the past. But the robot is perfect enough to anticipate that. It's able to predict based on your actions. To me, technically, an argument I heard was that you're always better off choosing both boxes, just in case the mystery box does not have. You're always better off choosing both boxes because you'll make more money that way. Either the mystery box doesn't have $1 million and you'll get $1,000, or if it does have $1 million, you get an additional $1,000. But it's always just dependent on what you would choose. Like, yes, would I technically make $1,000 million if I chose both boxes? Yes. I'm still choosing the one mystery box. It's not even crossing my mind to change my mind, because if I just don't choose the mystery box, for whatever reason, because this robot is going to predict my actions correctly, it knows everything about me, it's going to make this super complicated guess, and it doesn't have to think that hard, because I'm just going for that one box every time. That one mystery box. I'm curious what you all think. It's an interesting problem, I'd say, but it's something that I really wouldn't think about more than a minute. Because to me, it's just, you either pick the mystery box and get $1 million, or you don't pick the mystery box, and you pick both and you get $1,000. So I'm just going to choose what makes more. That's what it boils down to me. I definitely phrase it improperly, but yeah, I'm curious what you all think. Because I'm more curious about the psychology of whatnot, rather than actually the math and stuff. Because there is no way to mathematicalize it. There's no right or wrong approach, because it just misses the nuances of, I guess, the practicality. Granted, it's a theoretical situation. But yeah, it definitely upset me a little bit. Because it's just in the vein of the rage bait problem. It's objectively a good thought experiment. But I just don't like the style of it. And I just wanted to bring that up. Alright, I think that's going to do it. Thank you all for watching. It's been a day. Shout out to Idris Bam Adebayo. Is it Idris or Edris? I think it's Idris. Whatever, it's Bam. Everyone calls it Bam. But man, 83 points. Granted, it wasn't a close game and you were definitely stat padding. But listen, if they're going to triple team you and hack you at 70 points, they're going to start playing real defense for once. You score 70. You go for the record. Not even mad. Though I am surprised, because this is, again, his career high was 41 points. He more than doubled that. And he's been in the league a while. He's not that offensive player, but oh my. I'm very happy for him. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you all for watching. And as always, have a day. I hope it's a good one. See ya.